Hey folks, my name is Jake. Welcome to Canadian Cutting Edge, and I've got an unboxing for you today. I got two packages in the mail today. One from a Canadian store, Canadian Cutlery Company. Did I say their name correctly? It'll be on the screen. It's a store that started in Saskatchewan. We've also got it here in Alberta. There's an outlet in a retail store in Calgary that I've shopped at several times. Many times. Purchased things several times, but I've been there many times. And I got my first Leatherman. Now, I've owned Leatherman before. I've never bought a brand new Leatherman before. I've got, I had a couple of used ones and stuff. But I finally went out and bought one because, well, I'll tell you why in a little while. I also got a package from China. There it is. Yeah. Who is that? Whose products is that? Focus up there. Come on, camera, focus. I can't quite reach the camera to manually make it focus. Sanrenmu knives and tools. And this is made for their domestic market, although they do have some English writing on the box. Well, it's mostly English writing on the box, but this is for their domestic market. This is what their boxes look like. They got the SRM logo in a triangle, and that's what it is for most of the rest of the world. And this is for their domestic market. But I saw it on AliExpress and I decided I was going to buy it. Now, just one little hint, if you are going to shop on AliExpress, you've probably heard some of the fear-mongering out there, don't shop on AliExpress, blah, 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 blah. I've been purchasing from them for quite a while. Just be smart about it. Get yourself a disposable email address from some company, that gives out free email addresses. There's a whole lot of them out there. And then just pay on PayPal or, some other way to pay so that you're not giving away all of your details in one spot. And I've never, ever had a single problem from them. And I don't even get spam on that other email address. It hasn't been a problem for me, but I'm being smart about it. And I have like 10 different email addresses, mostly for that kind of purpose, so that when I'm hitting up an organization or a website or something that I don't quite trust, I don't give out my main email address. Certainly not the email address I use for my banking or any of my financial stuff or insurance or that kind of stuff. Don't use those. Just I've got training in tech. I used to be a tech support guy, networking, stuff like that. So I've got a little bit of background knowledge on that kind of stuff. Anyhow, that's an aside. This is sort of a knife channel, EDC kind of channel, and we've got a couple of knives to look at. So come on to the tabletop and we'll take a look at these. Oh, Bandit just came by. You want to see Bandit? Come here, buddy. Oh, he hasn't been on a video in a long time. How you doing, buddy? Bandit's getting old and not always feeling well. Spent most of the day yesterday feeling quite sick, didn't you? Yeah, you did. But he's a good dog. What are you, over 12 years old now, aren't you? Getting close to being you are a senior now, but do you need to be sent into a home? Yeah, you already got a home. You live with me. Yeah, I'll take care of you. Okay, I'm going to put you down on the floor now, okay? So let's get at it. All right, so here's the Leatherman. I'll tell you which one it is in a little while. And here, I'll do a close-up here, show you the difference between the kind of boxes that we have for Sanrenmu. This is the one made for basically the domestic market in China. They send it elsewhere, but it's really hard to find these knives at any stores other than the ones in China. And this is what their boxes look like for their knives that they send all over the place. Since 1998, so 26 years they've been around. Caution, keep sharp things away from children. Keep sharp things away from children. But it's English underneath. They're Chinese. And this is all English. There's no Chinese on this box. But here, there is. And let's open this up. I've not opened this yet. I know which one I got. I got the one with the ivory. I think there's 3 different colors on this knife. And let's see. Oh, yes. The ivory with the brown. I thought that looked really, really cool online. So hopefully that coating on there stays really well done. And this is a slip joint knife. And the 311, it's a big slip joint knife. Thumb stud. Oh, there's no half stop. Unusual. Most slip joint knives have a half stop. That's just sort of smooth all the way, so easy to do a slow roll. 12C are 12C20. No R. It's Sandvik steel. Well, they still call it Sandvik steel, although it's not technically Sandvik anymore. 12C27, the 311L-GT back spring slip joint. Even that back spring's in brown. Thumb studs in brown. The pivot pins in brown. The body pin back here is also a spot for a lanyard hole. That's kind of cool how they've done that. I'll see how that works when, well, before I do, as I'm playing with it for my review. Looks like 550 paracord might be tight to put through there, but might be okay. And of course, this pocket clip, I believe, yeah, it goes both ways. That I shouldn't do it that way. Close the knife. You pinch it and you wiggle it, and it comes out. Sanrenmu came out with this. Oh, is this piece longer than it used to be? I think the other ones are shorter. I'll go take a look. Yeah, I'm transferring something black onto these, and I'm putting it on there. Is it off my table? So that black mark wasn't there before. So I'm transferring something over. So yeah, it was a nice ivory color. And of course you can move this to either side and it locks in place. Yeah, it's got a tiny bit of wiggle to it. It's not like super tight, but locks in there. And I found these to work really, really well. These pocket clips, I'm quite happy with them. They got good retention and they're not too loose. You know, it's not, if I pull it, it goes back either way. So yeah, that's pretty nice. We've got a full flat grind on here, pretty much a straight back, and feels like it's fairly thin. 12C27 is a decent stainless steel, very happy with it. How much does this thing cost? Well, I got mine at AliExpress, and they're, what, $19.50 US, something like that, $27 Canadian. Of course, the Canadian price fluctuates every once in a while because I think they base most of their prices on American dollars, and then as currency values change, you know, it changes. So we've got the Sanrenmu logo right there. And yeah, definitely for the Asian market, because it doesn't say Sanrenmu or anything on it. It just, well, it does, but not in English. Nice. Let's see. There's no, okay, that acts like a stop pin right there. So you can close it without the edge hitting the back spring there. So it's safe for the cutting edge just to close it. That's nice. Yeah. I'll get used to this one. It's exact spring tension. Open with one hand, close with one hand, and use the knife. All right, so we'll put him right there on the top of the screen. And let's open this up. I've already cut the seal off of this. Came sealed. I can't be too close to the camera for it to be properly focused. It's the ARC. Black and silver version with a nylon sheath. Yes, Leatherman products are made in the United States and shipped all over the place. Why is that dirty? That's not good. Huh. Yeah, that's not good. Don't like that. Here we go. Let's lift this up. First thing I'm doing is just feeling for anything sharp, like just in the hand when you grab it. Is there anything sharp? It's most Leatherman, you pick it up and it's got just a little bit of an edge to it, but none of these edges are really sharp. Comes with a nylon pouch. Oh, the ARC also comes with this bit kit. Now this is probably the Canadian one, isn't it? Made in Vietnam, this part is. Because it's got the Robertson heads, the square heads here. If I get it to focus up there. Square-headed screws, drivers. So there you go. And you've got hex as well. And you've got Phillips. And you've got some Torx in there as well. So let's see what these Torx are. 10 and 15. Those are the smallest ones. So I wish they'd make an 8 and 6 bit. All right. So I've never owned a Leatherman with a bit driver before. I don't know how good they are. Nylon pouch. The sheath is made in China. There's your part number. Guess that'll come off. I guess this goes in either the back or the front. Put that in there to take it along. And then you've got a spot right there for something else. I've got a leather sheath coming from Popov Leather. Popov Leather, they did a early Black Friday sale last weekend. 40% off on a lot of stuff. Finally ordered my wife's Christmas present on that sale. 40% off is a lot. You can get 20% off with my code as well at Popov Leather. So check out Popov Leather, and 20% off is a big deal. And oftentimes that 20% off works on top of their other sale prices. So check them out. Now, why have I never owned a Leatherman? Like, why have I never bought my own Leatherman brand new? And it's mostly been because I don't like the main steel that they use in most of their knives. It's just, it needs sharpening too often. Did I transfer junk all over this thing already? So this is MagnaCut. MagnaCut steel. Sure, it's all black. I probably would have liked it just, excuse me, just with a satin finish. But MagnaCut, and I'll measure how thick that is behind that edge grind, and I'll measure that angle as well. This might be one time where I actually tell the angle again. Feels pretty sharp. Seems like it's pretty evenly ground. We'll see a little sharpness choil in there. Thumb stud on one side. And yeah. There's only one tool that I just didn't mind to hit my fancy on these. Let's just go over all these tools. There's your bit driver. Oh, as well as I pulled out both. There's your bit driver. So it comes with a flattened Phillips bit. And I've never used a Leatherman bit driver, so I'll decide what I think of those. Here's a bottle opener, can opener. You can use it both ways. Doesn't have a sharp edge right to the edge. Just comes thinner. So, you know, cans don't really need a sharp edge generally. They'll get punctured with something that's, you know, like this, just thin at the edge, not sharpened, but I guess you could sharpen it if you wanted to. And, you know, it locks. That's what this little paddle's for. And what's the last thing here on this side is the saw blade, which I've used Leatherman saw blades a lot. I just wish they could be a whole lot longer. It's not a really long saw blade, and because it's not very long, it simply can't be super useful, even if it's a very good saw blade. Like, even if it cuts really, really well, there's a certain amount of length you need to be genuinely useful. So this thing will be, you know, somewhat useful, but generally that saw blade's just not quite big enough. You've seen the pocket clip I probably won't use it with a pocket clip. We'll see. I'll test it and carry it with a pocket clip too, but no, I don't think so. It's not, this is the ARC. It's one of their bigger things. It's Leatherman products. I just can't see a pocket clip being that useful, but I got to test it to make sure. Let's see what else we got here. We've got the file. So we've got a crosshatch file on this side and a diamond file on that side and a tooth file on the edge. On that edge, the spine is smooth. So we've got that. We've got the bottle opener, although you can use the other one too, but this one's really the bottle opener, and a wedge, you know, sort of pry bar kind of thing. It might be, yeah, it's not too thick to be using it as a flat driver or standard driver. You can use it that way on some things, and it locks up there. And we've got this, which this is the only tool I think is silly. Because it takes up a whole slot, and it's just a tiny Phillips and a tiny standard driver. How often do I need to make adjustments to my eyeglasses? It's exceedingly rare that I need to take out a screwdriver, and I've got little screwdrivers that I can use. But on the go, like, do I need this in my pocket? I just think it's silly. I wish they would have put something else in there other than this. This just, I'll use it as a toothpick more often than I would use it as, you know, a glasses repair, you know, to tighten glasses or whatever. We've got one more there. We've got the awl. There's no hole in it, which, well, maybe because it's the smaller one. Jeez. You can use this as a wire stripper back here. That little notch looks more like a rounded hole. But this, I really think it would have been nice if they would have put just a little hole in there. But I don't use an awful lot either. But at least I can see the usefulness of that tool. And then we've got these scissors over here. And their scissors are just good scissors. I've used their scissors in the past, and they are good scissors that work quite well. And of course, you also have the pliers. You've got the crimping, crushing kind of thing right here, as well as back here, because this back little part doesn't come in to cut. Then you've got the cutting heads, which are replaceable, and then you've got your pliers here and your needle nose pliers here, and very smooth. Little bit of, well, not exceeding amount of play. It's a little bit of play between this plate, you know, between these two jaws, you know, if I push down on one side and then up. But yeah, not so much that I don't think that's an issue at all. And we've got these lugs right here that bite into these sections here. So click, click, and it holds on. And so for opening the tool, works well. You've all seen that. Magnetic, a number of magnetic things on this thing. Like when it goes together, it's got magnets that sort of hold it together. That's right in here. And yeah, decent amount of magnetic force there to hold it together. Doesn't make noise when you shake it, and it shouldn't. This is a bit pricey. In Canada, this is right around 300 bucks. And I haven't even watched reviews of these. I've got no idea what other people think of this tool, if they like it or not. I mainly didn't want to carry a big heavy tool like this and a knife in my pocket. I still probably will carry a knife in my pocket as well. But the knife is probably the first major tool that man invented. And if I'm going to carry a multi-tool in my pocket, I want it to have decent steel. I don't want to have used this knife and, you know, then put it away and, you know, then have to use it all of a sudden again and find it dull. And MagnaCut will not dull easily or quickly. It might be a little bit more work to sharpen it, but it's got a nice long flat section here. I'll easily be able to clamp it into my sharpening system and sharpen up this thing whenever it needs it. Not a problem. Yeah, that won't be a problem. The blade down, yeah, see, that's another reason I don't like the pocket clip. Using this left-handed, you know, that's uncomfortable. That pocket clip just is annoying there. In my right hand, the pocket clip's not as annoying. I know most people are right-handed. I grew up left-handed. I learned how to do stuff right-handed because I had 3 older siblings, 3 older brothers. I've got an older sister as well. And, you know, came from a poor family. So I got all the hand-me-downs for, you know, baseball gloves, hockey sticks, you know, all of what have you. You know, it's all right-handed. So I learned how to be pretty ambidextrous.